Hey, welcome back to Minding Your Business with the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. Guests next, Axe and Dagger. And Ariana and Nick Hayes. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
New business owners.
Very new.
Now, this is, you've been doing this at home, but now you have an actual location. No.
Actually, no, we had never done it at home before we even got our lease on the location. So we had all of our business stuff taken care of, a location leased, and we still hadn't thrown an axe in an actual axe throwing range.
Now, for you being the owners of Axe and Dagger, did you have to take a class, or did you have
No formal classes required.
a throw master, or?
We have been to a few different axe throwing locations, so we've gotten tips and tricks and demonstrations on how to throw and coach from multiple different places, Las Vegas, LA, Rancho Cucamonga area. So there's quite a few places that are popping up now, but we've taken some of the tips and tricks we've learned from them, and we've adapted it more towards what we want people to learn and how we can help them better.
How long have you been open?
We've been open for just over 6 months now.
And so this is not only a new business that you didn't know a whole lot about, but it's a business. So it's got a front door, and it's got customers, and it's got financing, and it's got promotion. Thanks for being on the show, by the way. That's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to come into, especially not having a business before of our own. We're lucky our parents have had their own businesses, so we've sort of gotten that mindset of how to sort of maintain and run something that you've developed yourself. But having the hard storefront and going through all the legal requirements and information to the community and getting our name out there has been a bit of a shock to us, but I feel like we're being received well. So it's turning out pretty good so far.
And have you had people come up and go, "Oh, I wanted to do that," or "I had that idea"?
I don't think we have very much. A lot of them, it's very foreign to them. I mean, axe throwing itself as a sport, is very new still, so it's only about 8 to 10 years old, and it hasn't made its way fully into Southern California yet. Sort of why we opened this is we first saw it on YouTube, the World Championships for the World Axe Throwing League, and wanted to try it, and looked up the closest places, and it was San Diego, Las Vegas, or San Francisco.
Wow. So
Nowhere
you could drive in an hour.
Nowhere reasonable to do an hour's worth of throwing.
So before I have you explain the business, this means that people from Los Angeles are coming up here.
Los Angeles, Bakersfield, Ridgecrest. There are a few facilities showing up in Los Angeles now, but we are glad to say we're the only one in LA County that's actually an affiliate of the World Axe Throwing League. So our leagues feed right into their World Championships, which are broadcast on ESPN.
Wow.
Yeah.
So explain to us what the business is.
So like we've touched on a little bit, we're axe throwing. We're going to be bringing the daggers back soon. We had some safety concerns, so we don't currently have them. But it's axe throwing, and it's at targets on a wall. We conform to the WATL guidelines, which pretty much means you throw from about 12 to 15 feet. You're in a controlled cage, 2 people throwing side by side. There's 2 different targets. So everything's very safe and controlled in our area. It's not just walk in and chuck something across the building and see where it lands. We actually have full safety and directions that we go through at the beginning of every single throwing session.
And lots of supervision.
Lots of supervision, yes.
We are the coaches for the entire time. We do teach you how to throw, where to throw from, and we adjust you as we need to make sure that you're getting the best possible throw for it and sticking it pretty much every time. That's what we want.
So where is Axe and Dagger located?
We're in the Lancaster Marketplace, a couple of doors down from Harbor Freight, right near the Jethawks. We are on the north side. It can be a little hard to see. We just got our signs put up, and
I've seen the signs, yeah.
They're directing people pretty well now. That was our biggest complaint for a while, is we couldn't find you. It was a big loop, but people are now able to find us.
So does Google Maps have you correctly listed?
Google Maps does have us correctly listed.
Yeah.
Yes, and we've actually done some interior 360 shots so people can see it on Google Street View at least. I don't know about Google Maps. So they could actually see inside and see how safe and controlled our areas are.
And has Harbor Freight been down to wish you well?
We've had quite a few people from Harbor Freight come over and throw. We actually throw some of their axes. They work very well. So And then
Product placement there.
It is, but we have a lot of people that enjoy throwing those axes and actually have gone over to Harbor Freight and bought them for themselves. So,
Oh, thank goodness, because this isn't a sport where I have to have a special axe.
oh, not at all.
This is a Harbor Freight axe that costs $6.99 or whatever.
$6.99. I mean, if you really wanted to get fancy, there's $300 hand forged axes, but it's not required.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you throw any better.
No, this is just if you're going to the tournament.
Yeah, if you want to look fancy.
Want to look fancy, yeah. So what does this cost?
So our normal costs are only $20 per person for the hour. And that covers use of the axes, use of the lane, our safety, and our training during the whole time. We do offer discounts for pretty much heroes discounts, so anybody that's military, law enforcement, fire, or medical, past and present. And we apply that discount to the whole group. Because we understand that at times it's not just that single person that's put in the time and the effort. It's family and friends that have done it too. So we like to give back to everyone.
So are people generally an hour is enough for them, or they go, oh, this is too much fun, let me have another hour?
Off the bat, it's usually an hour. Occasionally we get people coming back doing 2 hours, but we actually get people coming back a lot. Some of our more consistent throwers are in there 3 times a week.
Going professional, probably.
Yes, he's a very good thrower, and hopefully next year he'll be qualifying for Worlds.
And you're selling the shirts?
We sell shirts, we sell hats. Hopefully soon we'll be able to sell some of the axes that we handpicked as good throwing axes. So we do have plenty of merch.
Gotcha, very cool. And the question was, do you have competitions in the Antelope Valley at this point?
Yes, we do. So we just finished up our second season of leagues.
Mm-hmm.
They run for 8 weeks long. They're anywhere from $125 to $130, depending on fees that are given to us by the World Axe Throwing League. And like I said, they run for 8 weeks, so you get 7 weeks worth of pretty much your qualifying throws, and then there's a mini tournament on the 8th week. And like I was saying earlier, that if you throw well enough in those leagues and win the league, you can actually automatically qualify for the World Championships.
Wow.
So it's not like other sports where you sort of have to progress up through ranks. Everybody in the world throws against everybody in the world.
And you don't have to work your way up to different tournaments. You can throw everything in Lancaster, and then next week you're in San Francisco or New York.
This year it's in Tucson, Arizona. Last year it was in Chicago. They seem to move it around. But there's other tournaments as well. Couple of the ones this year were Canada. I believe Brazil hosted one, and those are more of just a weekend-long tournament, which we're starting to host those as well. We actually have one coming up on December 15th.
December 15th, thank you.
Yep.
And your location again is?
In the Lancaster Marketplace.
Right, almost next door to Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight, yep.
What was the decision to join the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce?
We've both been born and raised out here. I lived in Lancaster. Ariana here lived in Palmdale. So we're both Antelope Valley natives our whole lives. And it was just one of those things that the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce has always been around. We've always been familiar with them. And it just seemed like the right thing to do to not only help our business, but actually help out the community too.
Yeah, you are helping the community. Aaron had a question. He said, why not archery?
Our location right now is not sufficient for archery. That being said, we know that the archery range out here recently closed. So maybe in the future we'll look into, when we expand, we might be able to add that, but that's years down the road. So
You're kind of new right now.
yeah, no guarantees on that yet.
Just enjoy your success where you are right now.
Exactly.
We talked about LA customers, and you've got all the paperwork, you've got all the insurance you need.
Yeah. So that was one of the big questions we get as well from a lot of people is, how do you handle the insurance? Because you'd think it'd be astronomical. But our insurance company currently is actually located in Philadelphia. So it's one of those locations where they have a lot more exposure to this and have dealt with it a lot more. So anybody in Southern California really didn't know how to handle us as a business. But we went through some different different groups, and we're connected to these organizations that are spread around the country that have experience with axe throwing facilities and other facilities like that. And
I bet that saves you a lot of time in the learning curve, that you're working with an insurance company that knows exactly what the industry's all about.
it does. It doesn't require a lot of explanation about who we are and what we do. It's just sort of where we are, and
Are there age limits, or what are the parameters there?
So we do have an age limit. It's 10 years and older. 10 years and older can throw. Under 10 years is welcome to be in the facility, but they cannot participate in the throwing. So we pretty much have picnic tables that they can sit behind the lanes and watch from. But because we don't have any sort of adult beverages or anything like that, we can have a lower age range on who we can allow in to throw.
So it's family friendly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how many people can throw at one time? From the videos, it looked like there were maybe 6 people throwing.
So our lanes can hold up to 16 people each, and like I said, those have 2 targets and 2 people throw at the same time, but you rotate throwers in and out.
How many lanes?
We have 4 with double targets and 1 with a single target.
Can I ask how many square feet?
Just under 3,000.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask about frequent players, people that want to throw a lot. Do you give them a break, or do they have a punch card? Or
We have something very similar to a punch card. We used to punch the cards and don't really anymore, but we do have a membership that runs for $10 a month and pretty much gets you $5 off of eight visits a month. So it knocks your price down from 20 to 15 for each visit, and you can come up to 8 times for that price.
Well, they can probably practice at home.
We get the word from a lot of people that it's just easier to come in and throw because we use the same type of wood, we have that controlled environment, they don't have to worry about being loud for their neighbors, so it's just easier for them to come in and throw there.
Yeah, and they might be learning from somebody, someone might be learning from them, so it creates a really nice community there.
Absolutely.
Hey, I was thrilled. Ariana and Nick, Axe and Dagger, new chamber members, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
You bet.